Hello, welcome. This is Brendan and John, and Game Review.
Today, we are going to be reviewing games like Brawlhalla and Terraria. Both are indie games. We've mainly been reviewing mainstream titles such as Ark, Minecraft, Halo, and Call of Duty.
But today, we're changing things up and looking at two 2D-based indie games. Brawlhalla is a platform fighter which takes inspiration from Smash Brothers, but feels quite unique on its own.
In Brawlhalla, you can choose from dozens of characters. There's such as Core, the giant rock golem, and you can change their colors too, and change their stats to have more melee but less speed.
And all the characters have a variety of different moves, like standard attacks, and most of the moves, except for maybe aerials, can be charged, which allows you, if you wait patiently or get a read on someone, which is when you basically read their movements, say you know what they're gonna do, you can maximum your damage and get really early kills if you're good enough.
While you're playing, you can press a button to pick up, depends on what you're playing on, console, PC, Xbox, it's the X button, to pick up weapons and bombs, shurikens, or whatever. And you can have different weapons based off your character. You can have boxing gloves, you could have a sword, a hammer, or kind of a lance that has a jetpack on the back.
And then there's some of the general items, like a spiky ball, or a bomb, or a landmine. And personally, the landmine's my favorite.
The shuriken spike ball, one of my friends always throws it, and somehow it's the worst melee weapon. Somehow he wins with it.
Yeah. And, well, these items are pretty random, but it's still pretty fun and competitive, and it's easy to, just have fun with your friends, just messing around. But what's a game to play without stages to play it on? The stages in Brawlhalla are completely amazing. Some of them are pretty good, some of them are just fun to play on, some of them are viable competitively. And speaking of competitiveness,
in Brawlhalla, it's a very competitive game. It has a esports league where players compete for money. Also, speaking of maps before, depending on the size you have your maps, you can have them small, large, or big. The certain maps change. They're the same map, but they're expanded to have moving parts or another platform to fight on.
And with online play and being free to start, and you can easily gather all the characters without spending a single cent, the game's fun, and it's almost infinitely replayable.
You can also purchase dozens of characters, like I said. You start off with one free character called Orion, and every week or so, you get a dozen free characters that rotate in and out.
So that way you can try all the characters without really having to spend any money.
Yeah, I think it's a great business tactic to get people to spend money or keep playing the game, because they're ooh, I really like Core or Zol. I gotta keep grinding to buy him fully for next week.
Yep. And they continuously update the game, which is great. So they add new characters, and even some of the characters are from different fighting game franchises or just pop culture references in general, like John Cena or Rayman.
They teamed up with the WWE to incorporate some character, skins onto characters. They're not new characters. Brawlhalla teamed up with the WWE to have characters such as The Rock, John Cena, and other people that are skins for your characters that you buy. It's a great business tactic. People are going to keep playing, trying to get the skins of their favorite wrestler.
And it's all very interesting and all for free. It's definitely worth it on Xbox, PC. You should definitely get it if you enjoy fighting games or if you just want to try it out.
Your friends will love the game and create inside jokes such as Dexterity Thatch.
And Gimped. So, I guess that wraps up Brawlhalla. Time to move on to Terraria.
Well, what do you rate the game? To rate this game, I'd rate it a solid 8. I don't enjoy it that much, but other people will enjoy it a lot. So my rating would be around a 7, but other people would probably rate around an 8 or 9.
I don't really like to play this game by my own, but it's 6 out of 10 by myself, but that's just me. But definitely an 8 or 9 out of 10 when I'm playing with friends, because it's just how fun it is.
Yeah, I do enjoy it a lot sometimes. But on to our next game of Terraria. Terraria depends on how you want to pronounce it. This game is 2D Minecraft, called by many, but it's so, like, much more possibilities. I mean, it's not as much freedom as Minecraft making 3D structures, but there's dozens of bosses, there's thousands of items and, like, different varieties of that singular item you can have. You can have, like, enchantments, which are like Minecraft enchantments, but different, like a godly sword or a legendary sword.
And being 2D, you would think it had some restrictions, but really the only restriction is a lack of a third plane of reality. Everything about Terraria is amazing. The music is blissful, yet there's a boss called literally Destroyer of Worlds. There's a corruption biome, which is, very corrupted with evil monsters.
They even updated the game to add another type of corruption biome called the Crimson, which is the same thing, but it's different, new things. A new boss, the Brain of Cthulhu, instead of the Eater of Worlds and the Corruption, and different items. Also, your character can transfer between different worlds. So say you have a super good character on a Corruption world, but you want Crimson loot. You can make a world till you get Crimson world, go on that. Or you can join your friends with your character. Now, one thing I do not recommend is duplicating with other people. It's not fun, it ruins the game unless you're trying to, like, enjoy the end game, I guess, and, like, get the best loot to mess around. If you're going to duplicate, I will say one thing, don't abuse it if you're trying to play legitly, and just don't do it.
And the game is also pretty hard with easy, normal, hard, and even a hardcore mode. And I think an expert on
Expert,
PC.
you get better. An expert, you get better loot, and the monsters are stronger.
Yeah, and so you can play how you want, and you get rewarded for playing well. Like he said, you get like these goodie bags when you defeat bosses on expert. And speaking of bosses, Terraria has tons of bosses. You've got like the first stage of Terraria, where you gotta fight like the Eye of Cthulhu, Eater of Worlds, Skeletron, and then the final fight of the first part of Terraria.
The Wall of Flesh.
Yeah.
You could also fight auxiliary bosses. You don't have to fight all of them. You can just skip straight to the Wall of Flesh. Like the Bee Queen in the Jungle biome, or even the you can fish to summon a boss. I don't know. You might have to do that in hardcore mode after you defeat the Wall of Flesh.
And stuff like King Slime, which is optional but still very fun. And then you fight like different harder versions of these characters that are mechanized, like the Eye of Cthulhu now shoots lasers.
There's two of them. They're called the twins. And then you have the Eater of Worlds, which is now the Destroyer. Then you have Skeletron Prime, which is Skeletron. And on Xbox 360 only, maybe Xbox One, you have Akram, which is one of the original developers' names spelled backwards.
Yeah, Akram was the final fight for some of the older versions of the game. But nowadays, the final fight, I think only on PC, is Cthulhu himself.
It's the Moon Lord. It's also been released on Xbox. I've been playing the game, and I've gotten to the point where I have to destroy the pillars to summon him. But it's just I need to keep grinding to finally do it.
Yeah. Man, there's not just bosses that are difficult. There are also raids and such. Like, you can get attacked by golems or
Goblins.
goblins.
You can also defeat a boss called Plantera, not Pantera the band. And you get a key to a jungle temple where you can kill golems and stuff and get the best pickaxe in the game.
Yeah. And all of this you can do with your friends, which is another great factor. And really, it's a well-rounded game.
Terraria, just like Minecraft, is having a huge resurgence recently with the biggest single creator on YouTube, PewDiePie, playing it. And unlike Minecraft, when we reviewed it, it has a lot of character customization. In Minecraft now, they update it so you can customize your character to be short, tall, have a beard, red hair, different shirts, but most of it you have to pay for. But in Terraria, it's all free to play.
And that's really great. Terraria has a price point of about $30, $20 depending on what you buy it on. But it's a great game, and if you like games like Minecraft, you should definitely check it out. I would rate Terraria a 9 out of 10. It's great, and the limitations it has of being 2D are past.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I do rate it a 9 out of 10 as well. They can update if they keep the console version and mobile version updated with PC. It'd be so much better if they update it more, which they are doing a lot more updates. It would be a 10 out of 10 for me.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for game review. This has been John and Brendan.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos with your friends. If you enjoyed it, comment for games we should review next.
And see ya.